Hi guys, this is Sean here and welcome to Creators Q&A, and in today's session we are going to talk about how to get clarity in our branding. So if you're here right now, you can hear me. Can you all please type in like, what do you think are the 3 key attributes you find about me? Okay, so I'm going to talk about myself first as an example so that we can get this along. And by the way, if you are in either YouTube or Facebook right now on this particular live session, you can see that StreamYard, if you click on it, allow them to actually like notify or like allow me to see your names. It will be even more interesting and allow me to actually like sort of connect with you guys. So just to make sure you guys can hear me, if you can hear me, can you just type something that you feel about me? Like Sean is what kind of person? Certain attributes. Let's talk about attributes, because today we're going to talk about branding, and branding, right, is a lot about what people feel about you. So now this is something that we are going to actually consciously build, because that we can actually consciously choose certain ways that we want our audience to feel about us, and there are certain things we can do about it. And today I want to first give all of us certain amount of clarity on what is our personal branding, because your branding and my branding is definitely different, correct? I mean, some of us may be the same, and that's where we may become best of friends, and or maybe worse of enemies, like, oh, because we are the same, and one mountain cannot have 2 tigers, correct? Okay, so let me just see you guys, what are your like comments, okay, to make sure that you guys can hear me. Let me just check. Okay, clear sound. Great. So thanks. Do me a favor, based on however much you know about me, or if this is the first time you're seeing me, right, what kind of attribute do you think I have? Like, what do I portray? Like, how will you describe, oh, Sean is this kind of person? Because later it'll be your turn, okay? So if you're joining us for the first time, really, okay, very disciplined. Oh, thanks a lot. Okay, because you guys see me doing like workout and things like that, right? Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so for those who are actually creators out there and you want to have a personal branding, I want to share with you something. A lot of people ask me this question, like, who should I be serving? Who is my target audience? All this, while is important, but you must understand at the same time it is a connection between you yourself versus who you want to serve. It starts a lot from yourself. Even when you look at a very famous book called The E-Myth, it all starts from yourself. What are your values? What are your mission? And today we are going to find out. So I just want to check, any one of you heard of this particular term called brand archetypes? I'm going to show you in a moment's time. If you do, you can type yes. Now if you haven't, you can type a question mark. And I want to share with you that after tonight, we will be doing some tests together, and I would love you guys to tell me what is your brand archetype and like how are you actually branded. Okay, cool? So, oh, thanks a lot, Neplun, correct? Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so Jin, you're not very sure what's brand archetype, correct? Okay, now let me just go through with you guys this thing called the brand archetype. Allow me to pull my slides out. Oops, okay. Alright, so let me share with you guys, there's this particular thing called brand archetype, and as I go through this, right, I would like to encourage all of you guys to participate and also play along together with me to see which brand archetype you think you are. Alright, so this is my slides. Now, in order to have brand clarity, right, a lot of the marketing companies uses these 12 different types of branding archetype. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to explain each of the brand archetype. You can see right here, it's a little bit small, but let me just highlight a few things. You can see that it has 4 big segments, okay? So, and each of them, right, actually speaks to us. One meaning to say, right, as we actually think through, we actually can feel that, oh, this is actually more talking about me. This is what I truly believe in. And by the way, there's no right or wrong. Each of us, we are made differently. We are created differently by the creator. And we are here to actually serve, correct? So let me share with you guys this. So for the first segment, right, you can see this yellow color portion. Hey, by the way, all this, right, you can after that use it to sort of like use it for your branding, for the color. We shall talk a lot more about it in this creators Q&A, okay, on every Monday. Like what kind of color to use, what kind of font to use, how should I reach out to my audiences, what kind of feeling you want to give them. It's actually got to do with how you actually use your brand. So the first portion, right, is actually under, okay, I'm going to call them segment 1. Segment 1 are for those who have a bigger mission to want to leave a legacy. You want to leave something behind. You do not just want to actually live and then live on this earth and then leave this earth without anyone remembering you. You feel that it's your purpose to leave a legacy. So this is type 1. Type 2 is pursuit connection. So type 2, right, are people who are very, I would say, very people. You can actually feel a lot of connection. By the way, I'm not saying type 1 is not people, but I'm just saying that type 2, their highest priority is actually to connect with people, to pursue connection. Type 3, right, are people who are very focused on structure, and we need this kind of people around, correct? People who actually provide structure. That's where things get going, things get actually very documented in a very processed way, okay? So, and type 4 are people who explore spirituality. Okay, these are the people who go in touch with themselves a lot more, and that's where you have a lot of self-discovery and self-awareness. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now, just to guess, which one do you all think speaks more towards you? Which one speaks more towards you? Okay, just type either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Just help me type in the comments so that I can see you guys. Hi Benji, hi. So yeah, guys, Sean is a creator. Okay. Well, I guess at different stages and also at different, I would say, like seasons in life, and you take on certain roles, you may actually change. But certain things doesn't change. Some people are just in a certain way. Okay, so let me go through with you guys one by one, and let me explain to you at the end of this whole entire session. I'll also give you guys a link to go and do a test. And then you can actually reply in the comments and tell me which one speaks about you. So even for Paul, right, we're talking about Bruno. For example, you're branding your pet dog, right? There may be certain characteristics of the pet dog that you want to furthermore, I would say, like, explore and also explain to your audience that you stand for certain values. Because you know why? When you're of a certain, like, stand for certain values of a certain branding, you attract different people. Cool? So, hi Kelly, hi Bruno. I guess Bruno has taken over your account again, correct? Alright, so let me, let me go. Okay, Explorer, confirm plus shop. Okay, so you can see, right, I want to share with you, the first archetype, right, is called the Outlaw. The Outlaw, right, they have this motto called rules are meant to be broken, are made to be broken. Now, if you think this speaks to you, right, so every time I talk about a certain, like, archetype, you can give a score from 1 to 10, and let me like share, okay, or tell me like whether this actually makes sense to you. Okay, so these are their key attributes: disruptive, rebellious, combative. Okay, so this is something that speaks to you, and this is something you're proud to be. You're proud to be. Some of you may say, oh no, I don't want to be disruptive, I don't want to be rebellious. This doesn't speak to you. Now, again, I want to say that in this particular earth that we are in, right, there are many types of people. We are all made to be different. So I think this particular exercise not only allows us to understand ourselves, it also allows us to understand that there are different types of people in the world, and that's why sometimes you cannot see eye to eye with someone else. But that doesn't mean you are wrong or they are wrong. It is just we are made differently. Now, I'm not talking about all circumstances. There are some circumstances that there's someone in the wrong and in the right. But I'm talking about like different ways of looking at things, okay? So you can see, for the Outlaw, is like not settling for status quo. Now, and demand more, go out and get it. Okay, so these are the key mottos. So that's where you can actually shape your whole entire Instagram, your whole entire like YouTube, and things, right, that you actually say. Okay, so the choice of words is also very important. Now let me explain to you. If you actually realize that you are an outlaw, okay, I'm not really talking about outlaw. My in-laws are outlaws now, I'm just kidding. Okay, so when we talk about, like, if let's say your brand voice or your brand archetype is the outlaw, that's where when you talk to your audience, it can be more consistently, you know that, okay, this is where I'm branded, this is how I will attract people who believes in this particular brand idea, who feels comfortable with this brand idea. So what are some of the choice of words you can use? So again, let me just play around with the audiences. So Benji, you do it all the time. So what do you think? As an outlaw, what are some of the choices, the choice of words you can use? Like when you talk to your audiences, what are some key phrases that you use? Also, at the same time, can you also make a guess? What brands actually use the brand archetype outlaw? What brands? Because there are some very big brands around, they actually uses this archetype. So make a guess, I'll just get some comments from you guys, and I'll see whether you guys actually like this idea. By the way, give yourself a ranking of 1 to 10, whether you think you're an outlaw, whether you're not an outlaw. By the way, there's no right or wrong again. There's 12 altogether, and we are just at number 1. I just want to make this a little bit more interactive, and by the end of everything, I mean, if you guys like, I will show you how to get all the whole entire set of slides. If you guys want the slides, also do let me know. Okay, Ken? So let me see some of the comments below. I'm reading it. It's coming in. There's like a 10 to 20 seconds time lag. But I want to make sure it's an interactive session, so that I'm not just talking to myself, okay? Alright, let me see. What did you guys say? Okay. So yes, Playboy Outlaw. Okay, Harley Davidson. Some of you are very outlaw. Wow, Benji is totally 10. Some of you are 2. Okay, this changes everything. Okay, yes. So rebellious. This changes everything. What we should not go for status quo. Let's challenge the norms. Let's be unconventional. Why should we stick to the rules? Things like that, right? Or Apple is outlaw. Good. Thanks for actually participating. So let's take a look based on the marketing handbook. These are some of the brands that are considered using the brand archetype outlaw. Alright, we have Virgin. Okay, Virgin, like Richard Branson, outlaw, thinking of crazy stuff. Let's fly to the space and things like that, right? Harley Davidson, Diesel. This is not this is not everything. Of course, there are more brands that actually falls under these outlaw brands. At the same time, there are some brands, right, they have a mix of a few. Now, when you look at outlaws, right, these are also some of the things that you want to actually drive towards. So these are what motivate you. What motivates you is liberation, change, righteous, revenge, and independence. So this is what is important to you. And this is what you are fearful of, okay? Or your community, your tribe is fearful of. Because when we are building a brand, right, we want to build a tribe as well. We want to build a followers. So the followers, right, they fear conformity, they fear servitude. Okay, they fear acceptance. Meaning to say they don't want to just be in the mold, right? So your strategy is actually this: disrupt, shock, okay? So guys, this will be very useful if you are in the outlaw. Now, the next brand archetype. The next brand archetype is the magician. Okay, magician doesn't mean you have to perform magic, okay? But basically, your heart is that of a magician. So something for you is actually power. It can happen. We can do it. Okay. So maybe it reminds you of some people that you know. So if anyone remind you of this archetype, right? Please type down as well. The brand voice, mythical, informed, reassured. Say yes, we can. Yes, we can. Who is that? Oh yeah, I think it's Bob the Builder, correct? Yes, we can. Is it? Can we do it? Correct. And the brand message is like, tomorrow is brighter than today. So we are looking at the brightness of future. Basically the future, the dreams can come true, and so on. So again, can you all guess what kind of brands uses this brand archetype? Oh, Houdini is the magician. He's literally a magician, correct? So what kind of brands actually uses this archetype? Can you all actually help me type in? And also, we can also discuss what are some of the favorite brands that you have, and we can also see, whether they fit into any particular archetype. Okay. So let me take a look. What do you all have? So it's going to be very fun. And at the end, like I mentioned, each of us, we have certain different types of archetype. Okay. Nike, just do it. Okay, there's no rules, right? Okay, so let me go through with you guys. What we have here, very interesting. It is based on certain terminologies. You know, like Coca-Cola, it's a lot about magic. It's a lot about, like, they use polar bear. They use like Christmassy kind of a feeling. Dyson, Disney. So a lot of them, right, is about like the vision, and also about discovery. It's like when we talk about magic, right, there's always like surprises, there's transformation. So these are the things that touches you a lot. So some of you may be a magician as well. Now, we do have primary and also secondary type. So some of you may be an outlaw, primary, and secondary magician. Okay, and what you are actually fearful of is like stagnation, like, why are we like remaining stagnant, ignorance, like doubt. Okay, personally, I think I'm a bit more magician, a bit of more optimist as well. So whenever I have a big dream and people say, hey, but how can it be done? Hey, be realistic. Then I feel a bit like tired. Talk to you also, you don't understand. Now, it is not that talk to the person they don't understand, but the truth is this, we need different people who are different archetypes. But that coming back together, when you are working in a particular company, or if you are branding your particular, let's say, a personality, that's where you must fix to one archetype. That doesn't mean that you disrespect other archetypes. It means that you speak to people who believe in the magician archetype. Okay, cool? So that's where we talk about developing a vision. This sounds a little bit like me, okay, and also transformation. Now, if you're a magician, you can type a M, or you can type a like 5 upon 10, 6 upon 10, okay? So Microsoft, okay, yeah, Microsoft, what archetype is that? Let's think about it. So again, this is the second archetype. Let's go through the third one. The third one is the hero. Okay, the hero is people who talk about mastery. Yes, life is about mastery. When there's a will, there's a way. Now you can see that some of the brand messages overlaps. They sound a bit similar. But you know why? It's because if we go back to the first slide, right? It's because they are all inside this particular segment. They want to actually leave a legacy. So there's quite a few brand message. So the outlaw, the magician, the hero, you can see their key phrase is liberation, power, mastery. similar in the same quadrant, okay? So now let's go back to the hero. The hero type is we can make the world better. When there's a will, there's a way. So your key like brand voice is being honest, candid, and brave. Now, I want you guys to also play along with me, my friends. Example, if let's say your brand archetype is the hero archetype, that's where you must consistently remind your audiences that you are the hero archetype. No, obviously we don't say, hey guys, I'm the hero, worship me. We don't say things like that, correct? But certain choice of words. What can we say? What can we say to make the audience remember that we are honest, we are candid, and we are brave? Can you all just type in? What can we say? Sean the magician. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit of magician. I'm creator, correct? So you see there are a few mixed here and there. So example, right? You see, in order to actually portray honesty, a lot of times, even on social media, one very good way to do it is to share like your vulnerability. You can say, hey guys, you know, I've been like, example, let's say you are investing, you're investing, let's say teacher, correct? You see, so even in the investment space, right, we know that there are a lot of teachers, but you can have different brand archetypes, and when you're branded differently, you attract different crowd. So let's say as a investment teacher, you can actually be the hero and say, guys, I want to share with you, I make a very bad mistake last week. Actually, I bought into this stock and I realized that it was a mistake. On hindsight, I actually did a wrong thing. So you can see, when you do that, right, it actually portrays honesty and candidness. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. Trusted neighborhood bank. Well, you can keep using that word as well. I mean, you can actually do that, you know. Now the interesting thing is this, you see, right? If you are someone who is honest and candid, right, it is actually very weird. Think about it, it's very weird to say, hey guys, to be honest, right, let me tell you this. And frankly speaking, right, now let me ask you, all of you here, right, if I speak to you guys and I say, okay guys, now let me tell you something about the stock market, or let me tell you something about fitness. But frankly speaking, right, actually, right, the truth is supposed to actually eat certain things. Now, if people use the truth, honestly speaking, or frankly speaking, when they actually use this word, right, do you know what's the psychological impact? Do people feel that they are honest people? What do you think? Yes or no? Now, you know, psychology actually mentioned, right, that if someone say to be honest, truthfully speaking, frankly speaking, right, it triggers certain skepticism in your audience. Your audience will say, oh, meaning to say, before that, what you are telling me wasn't true. And now you say, okay, to be honest, meaning to say, right, from now on, you'll be honest. But before that, you weren't honest. So, interestingly, if your type is your brand archetype is hero archetype, you have to avoid using words like to be honest, frankly speaking. Now, in fact, most of the people we should avoid using this now, because it triggers certain mistrust. You know, it's very interesting, right? Marvel always portray a hero. Okay, great. So, what are some of the brand archetypes? Hero brand archetypes is a lot of the sports brand, right? Like Adidas, Nike. Now, FedEx is also one of them. If you remember some of the FedEx advertisement, right, they will show like people like going all out to make sure they live to deliver, right? So they actually live to fulfill this particular mission, like a very hero base. So these are the drive here. I'll not go through in details. You can read for yourself. Okay, these are the fears, and also the strategy is to become better, to become stronger. Okay, to prove people wrong. So this is the first quadrant, the first three of them. So you again, quick summary: we have the outlaw, we have the magician, and we have the hero. Now the next tree is about connection. So for those who are more into connection, that's where you can think about it. Again, think through which one belongs to you more. So the next one is the lover archetype. I only have eyes on you. Very intimate, very intimacy. Now when we talk about lover archetype, what brand comes to mind? My friend, share with me. What brand comes to mind? And by the way, you think about it, you see there are 12 key archetypes. You can mix and match and create your own. And if you actually follow my like social media and you're in my creators Facebook group, right, I'll be sharing with you guys a lot more like tips and hacks on how to create your brand using very interesting resources. Okay, so you know, a lot of times we are not very clear, correct, but all these actually help us. So now next, the lover archetype. You can see the brand voice, sensual, empathetic, and also soothing. Wow, empathetic means I can understand you. Okay, so like we can get connected. It's talking about beauty. Your striking beauty is impossible to ignore. So let me take a look. What do we have? Cadbury. Sorry, the lover's archetype is Cadbury. Okay, interesting. Is it lovers or connection, right? Maybe. Casanova. Okay, Lux. LV Presley. Victoria's Secret. Dove. Okay, great. Durex. Maybe Durex is more like hero, right? I don't know. It's like, yeah, we'll make sure we protect you. Okay, interesting. Okay, Duracell Bunny. No, this one is hero, correct? Hero is Duracell bunny. Okay. Oh, Durex is hero, is it? Okay. So based on what we have here is Chanel, Alfa Romeo, and Victoria's Secret. Of course, a lot of them, like you mentioned, I think it makes sense also, guys. So these are the drive, these are the fear. Again, what does it mean, right? Is when you understand your entire brand, you have to communicate this. You also have to communicate this. Say, hey guys, let's not be fearful of this. Let's drive for this. All right. The after lover, the next archetype that we have is the jester. The jester is like the clown lah. Tell lame jokes and stuff like that. Okay, if I can't dance, I'm not part of it. So it's a lot about pleasure, a lot about enjoyment, fun-loving, playful, optimistic. So the motto of the jester or the brand message is, hey, we are here only for a short time, not for a long time. So come on, you only live once, correct? So any of you all actually can relate to this. Now, I want to say that all of us, we can relate to the fun-loving portion, correct? It is whether this is your primary, like I would say, values, okay? So what are some of the brands? The Jester brands. Can you all think about it? So what brands can you all think about when you actually think about Jester? And if you think that you are Jester, you like having fun, help me click the like button or the love button. Just help me smash it so that I can see the things flying around and I feel a bit happier as well. So McDonald's, Kit Kat. Okay, interesting. So keep it coming. So here we have M&M's. Okay, you can see it's very colorful. Old Spice, I actually don't know what's this. Okay, Dollar Shave Club. Anyone of you know Dollar Shave Club? If you look at the like advertisements, the way they portray themselves, right, it's very funny, a lot of fun also. Actually, Durex is also like that, right? You know, Durex. Yeah, I think when I saw some of the Durex advertisements, I don't know whether it's a spoof, but it's also quite funny, okay? So these are the drive, these are the fear. Okay, now, so let me take a look. What do you all have? Lemonade. Okay, great. So, okay, now, the next one we have is the everyman. Now, the everyman is like, hey, I'm just like, basically I can connect with the common people, the normal people. I'm not the Ivy League. I'm not the on the ivory tower. So I'm friendly, I'm humble, I'm authentic. So it's like you're just like me and I'm just like you. Okay, so this is the everyday man. Now you realize that as we go along, right? Actually, all this speaks to us, correct? Because of the way that it's structured. In fact, all these brands are created with brand messages to actually touch people's heart in certain ways. Okay, in certain aspects of your life. It's just that right now, how do you want to brand? Okay, so the brand message, we treat each other with honesty, friendliness, so we can live together in harmony for you and for me, correct? So, what are some of the brands? Make a guess. Some of the brand archetypes of every man. doTERRA. Okay, doTERRA is which one? Are you talking about the previous one? Just the everyday man is like I connect with you, correct? So it's I think this is essential oils. Neil Bowen, the every man archetype. He's a bit of a jester as well, correct? He's a bit of a jester, very funny guy. Insurance agency, yeah, I think that's what they also want to portray. And some insurance agency, they also have the hero type, like okay, we can actually help you break through and also retire earlier. We are here for you, correct? So things like that. Amazon, okay, Mr. DIY. Okay, great. So we have here IKEA. You know, IKEA is like everybody can come and buy my furniture and you can fix it yourself. Target, Walmart, those NTUC. I don't know. But do you all see the recent NTUC viral ad? That was very cute. No? Okay, I'm trying to look for it now. NTUC viral post. It was very cute. Did you all see that? It was so funny. Okay, I just want to share this. So you see, you doing like funny things like that, right? Also can allow you to connect with your audiences. Let me share with you all the NTUC one. Do you all see that? Air Asia, Yoast. Okay. Okay, I just share with you all this. So this one was NTUC's post, like it went viral. So they sort of like they went a bit crazy. For Singaporeans, you all can understand. So they use a certain brand of a food. They say Maring Parade, like Maring Paile lah. So and then Bras Pasar. So they actually try to form like different places in Singapore. Okay, what else do they have? Okay, you all know what's this? Anybody know what's this? When I first see it, I got no idea what is this, you know. So anybody know what is this? So they are trying to play around with everyday items and also talking about everyday places to actually form a certain like connection to say they are everyman. Anybody knows what's this? Connecting with the MRT station. Yeah, it's very funny, right? So this one, right, in case you all didn't know, I took a long time also. It's actually about lemon tea. So you can see it's actually lemon tea. So it's C is clementi. Clementi. Extremely lame, So I mean, I don't know, like, it makes me laugh, lah. So I mean, when they have all these laughing things, right? I mean, I guess it connects with you guys very well, right? Okay. So anyway, you all can go and check out NTUC's Facebook post. So anyway, coming back to here, we have the everyman. Now, everyman doesn't mean that you are okay, but everyman, that means that very likely you are also not a luxury brand. But that doesn't mean you are like cheap, okay? So IKEA isn't like totally cheap, correct? They are also a very decent and very powerful brand. It depends on how you want to do it. It's a lot about connection, togetherness, equality, okay? So, I mean, if you want a lot of inclusion, you cannot charge very, very expensive. Well, it depends on your strategy and also on your personality, okay, Ken? So now, the next one we have, oh wait, hang on a minute. So for this quadrant about connection, we have lover, we have the jester, people who love to have fun, and we have the everyman. So this is the second quadrant, okay? I mean, if you go and search for brand archetype, there isn't like quadrant 1, quadrant 2, but I'm just talking about connection purpose. This portion, right, is the second quadrant. Now, the third quadrant is about structure. So structure is a lot about like making life easier for people, making life in a certain way that's processed and as we mentioned, structured. So the first one we have is the caregiver. Now, the caregiver is a lot about service, a lot about loving your neighbor as yourself. Or this is a quote from the Bible. And also it's about caring, warm, assuring. So obviously, right, what do you think a caregiver will usually say? Like, what is the type of things they will say if they are doing a Facebook live or YouTube live? What are the keywords? Okay, you can see the brand message: everyone deserves care. We all strive to bestow service upon one another. So it's talking about like reassuring, it's okay, things are going to be okay, I can help you, and things like that, correct? Okay, so these are the things. So make a guess, what brands are there in the caregiver? Hospital, great. Excellent. Thanks for participating, guys. Singapore Cascade. Cool. Well, I mean, even if Singapore Cascade, I guess they have to do something, correct? I mean they have to also brand themselves like in a certain way. But of course, a cascade service, right, can be branded differently. You see, it unlikely it can be branded as a jester, okay. It can't be like fun loving and stuff like that. So Singapore Cascade, but I do know of a. Now guys, I share with you all this particular brand is very funny. So this brand, right, when they open up the shop, they purposely open up between two cascade shops. So these two cascade, right, they actually, I mean this particular brand, they open up on the left, on the right, they are selling coffins. Can you guess what shop is that? They purposely open there so that they can make a funny statement, and they are making, I mean they are making a joke out of it. Can you guess what shop is that? It's very funny. Anyone can guess? Okay, I'm going to let you guys guess. Later I'll tell you guys the answer. So I read about this particular company. Okay, who will actually purposely open your shop between two cascades? Okay, in between. Okay, so anyway, caregiver brand, you can see a lot of is like the non-profit organization. Okay, all those like a charity organization. Okay, Tom's. Okay, so it's about, okay, Tom's, actually I'm not too sure what is that as well. Is it a clothes brand? So it's about support, help, service, recognition, gratitude. Okay, others before self. Okay, and also about sacrifice, about giving. Okay, anybody knows? Flower. Yes, actually Benedict got it correct. It's called the Body Shop. Y'all think about it, Body Shop, when they first open, right, they open between two cascades, and then in between two cascades, it is called the Body Shop. And remember, nobody knows the Body Shop initially. So when they look at the two cascades, then they saw a Body Shop. It's meant to be a humor. In fact, they got a lot of publicity and they went on the newspapers. So the founder actually mentioned she doesn't really have a lot of money, so she needed some publicity stunts. So these are something that they are doing. It's very funny, correct? Okay, so these are the things that this is when we talk about the caregiver. The next one is the ruler. Wow, the ruler. Okay, don't look at it very negatively, because we do need people who have comes with certain structure, correct? So now, well, I mean, anyone y'all can think of when you think of the ruler. Personally, I think of some politicians as well, correct? So there's their branding, and I mean, I do heard of politicians whose branding is jester in some other countries. But in Singapore, typically, especially in the past, our founding father, I think that he's something like the ruler. So he's talking about control. Power isn't everything. It is the only thing. Wow, sounds so scary. But at the same time, right, it attracts certain people who actually likes this. Obviously, when you look at, let's say, the organizational hierarchy, right, and I think that the hierarchy of organizational structure in many places have changed, but even now, there will still be certain people at the top, the management, the C-suites. Okay, so these are the people who have like a certain ability to lead, and they also believe in using power, and they have power. So it's not a bad thing, okay? I say this because I mean, personally, when I think about like having a lot of power, it comes with a lot of responsibility as well. So I do appreciate a lot of the politicians. Okay, so it's about commanding, refined, articulate. So some of you, when you look at this, you may like it, you may not like it. Okay, so he's talking about excellence and achievement. Now guess, guys, what are the brands that actually like talk about being a ruler? Like talk about, wow, if you carry our brand, you are like a ruler, you are in charge, you are in control, you have power. Who is that? Rolls-Royce, Hermes. Oh, okay. Yes, LKY, correct. So we talk about LKY, our founding father. So you can see this is the ruler brand. Typically, they are a little bit more, I would say, high-end. They are also luxury brand. Rolex, not everybody can afford because they don't want to target everyone. They only target people who wants power. Okay, maybe everybody wants power to a certain extent, but people who are excessively not excessively. People in position of power. Okay, so status, wealth, success, about leadership, about superiority. Okay, so this is the ruler. Now the next one, when we talk about structure, the next person is also called the creator. Interesting. It's about innovation, about what it can be imagined, it can be created. So it's inspiration, daring, provocative, and seeing potential everywhere. So guys, what brand do y'all think actually portrays this? And like what Paul mentioned, I'm pretty much under this segment. I like a lot of innovation. I like to actually dream. So I'm a bit of like a creator and magician myself. Okay, so that's where I truly believe. Basically, I really believe in everybody's potential. And I guess that if you find that you have no potential when you come and work with me, or let's say there's some ways to work together, right? I can see things that probably people can't see, or maybe it's just my imagination, whatever. But anyway, when I can see it, it can happen. Okay, so these are the things that I personally do. So we talk about Apple, correct? What is this? Sorry if I don't know all the brands. Maybe some of them too atas for me. Okay, so we have Lego, Apple, we have Adobe, about creation, about innovation, about creativity. Okay, so about originality, about vision, about imagination. So these are things that it can speak to some of you guys. Alright, so now we are finally reaching our last quadrant. The fourth quadrant is talking about spirituality, talking about a lot about insight. Okay, about insight. Okay, so I mean, some of my friends, very obviously, they are under this segment also. So now the first one talking about spirituality is the sage. Hang on a minute. Okay, so we have the sage. Now the sage is about understanding, about like knowledge, assured, guiding. This is a very wise guy. Okay, talking about education, talking about wisdom. So now, do you all know anyone who is like that, or any brand who is like that? Let me just take a look, and let's interact a bit more, and let's see whether like which is the like sites or which is the places that gives us, I would say, knowledge, a lot of wisdom and things like that. What do you think? WB? Oh, Warren Buffett, is it? Yeah. I felt that his branding is like the sage, right? Plus a bit of a jester, I don't know. He likes to have a bit of fun. Harvard, universities, Cambridge. Excellent. So if let's say you're having a school, you can actually choose to brand it that way. Okay, and it's like, it will probably be very, very appropriate. Now we have Google, we have BBC, we have universities, like what you guys mentioned. So it's about wisdom, about intelligence, about expertise. Okay, so right now I hope that some of these are touching you. Okay, really like when you look at it, you say, hey, this is talking about me, correct? This is talking about my highest values or belief. Okay, this is also celebrating like lifelong learning, and also about a lot about like knowledge accumulation. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is the innocent archetype. So these are people who talk about like life is simple, simplicity is elegant, optimistic, honest, humble. And do you know anyone who is like a bit more like innocent type? When you look at this person, you can feel that, wow, this person is like, it's a bit naive, but at the same time, right, you trust this person so much because this person is so innocent, correct? So what brands do you all think about? Personally, I have this friend, this YouTuber friend. Her name is called Angel. So when I talk to her, she's like this type, definitely. I don't know whether you know her. Do you know her? Angel she. So she talk about food, she talk about a lot of things, and she's like so innocent. Okay, so this is her personality, this is her branding. By the way, all this, right, has got to do with, let me share with you, all this brand works. All these brands will allow you to be success if you are consistent with it. And very importantly, there must be congruency. So see which one touches you and continue to build your brand around there. But very importantly, right, is you must be conscious about what touches you and then consciously communicating this to your audience. So you know what I'm saying? So the way that you behave, the way that you speak, the choice of words must be congruent. Because I can tell you something, like even when even like sometimes my mom, right, she'll look at my Facebook live. I don't know whether she's watching right now. She'll be a bit concerned. She say, hey, son, you're always like telling jokes. yeah, like you don't wear like a suit or like a collar, wouldn't it looks very like not professional? So she wants me to act in a certain way, but she does that because she cares for me, correct? However, certain way of like dressing and behavior is not suitable for me. So I don't really like, I'm not able to relate to that. Now that doesn't mean I always have to be messy and stuff like that. I can always improve in my that particular type, and that doesn't mean that if I attend your wedding I'll be wearing a singlet. Don't worry, I also have the decorum to actually behave myself in a certain context. But you must know which one touches you the most. Okay, Ken? Teletubbies. Okay, someone talk about Angel, right? Marie Kondo, right? Not okay. Thanks a lot, Benji. Okay, so like some of the brands is like Dove. Actually, I don't know most of the brand. I only know Dove. Okay, talking about simplicity, positivity. Okay, fostering a feel-good spirit and a wholesome virtue. Okay, now finally the last type is what they call the explorer. Okay, Mr. Paul, I think this sounds like you. Okay, it's talking about freedom. Don't fence me in. Okay, you get only one life. Get out and make it count. So exciting, fearless, daring. Oops. Okay, hang on. So what brands do y'all think of? You all think of any brand? This should be you, correct, Paul? Okay, you're saying that yours is what? Okay, you can talk about Bruno. Bruno is the explorer. Freedom, so you gotta let him go in the jungle and then let him like roam around. NASA, Nike. Okay, great. Okay, let's see what do they have here. They have a North Face, Jeep. Yeah, it's a lot about like the outdoor kind of brands. Also like, well, Nike I think also can do. It's both a hero and also like an explorer. It's about adventure, exploration, the unknown, self-discovery, liberation. Okay, great. So now coming back to these 12 types, right? Let me just zoom in slightly because I know it's a little bit small. So which one do you all think you are? Now, can you all also type for me? You can type the short form, okay? You can type the short form and tell me which one you think you are. Oops. Okay, so we have this 12. Okay, you can see which of the words actually like sort of speaks to you the most. Is it outlaw, magician, hero, or which segment first? Okay, so there's no right or wrong. It is about what connects to you the most. And that's where I also want to encourage you guys to go ahead and take this particular brand archetype test. It is not really my website, but I thought it was pretty good. Okay. And don't be surprised with the answers. It is not like profiling ourselves. It is not saying that, oh, you are definitely like this or not like this. Okay, it's just a self-discovery. Okay, some of you are connection. Everyman, Jin. Okay, great. So now once you know, it's a mixture. It is a mixture, but there must be a primary type and also a secondary type. So you don't go around like, unless you are schizophrenic, right? Or let's say you're an actor, you act every type. Then it's a bit confusing for some of your audiences. It is important to build a brand around there. Then next week we can talk about who do you want to serve, and I know some of you guys want to learn about video editing. We can talk about that as well. So now let me show you guys this particular tab. Okay, and I'll give you guys the link as well. So this is by Vision One. You can go ahead, scroll down, take the test. It's a quiz, and then they will actually they will give you more information also. You can click on it and also like really go and study a bit more. Okay, so I do hope that this is something that has benefited you. Okay, I do hope that you guys enjoy this. And also, if you have not joined our creators group, please go ahead and join our creators group. Because what is very important is we'll be doing a lot more like polls, like asking you guys what do you guys want to learn. Is it about like talking about branding, talking about, let's say what's that, video editing and things like that. Let me just put a link there in case you guys have not joined yet. And if you look on the post, I probably have put a certain like link there as well. Okay, cool. So that's all I have for you guys this evening. Let me know what else you want to learn, and really comment below and tell me what type you are. I'm very curious. Go ahead and do the test, okay? So again, allow me to refresh the post. If you go to the post either on Facebook or YouTube, I will put in the link to do the test in a moment's time. That's where you guys can go ahead and do the test, and let's create together. Alright guys, I do hope you have enjoyed yourself tonight, and I'll see you guys actually almost every day as we post some interesting videos, and let's create together. Alright, see you, bye bye.